You know, like, like, I like to read, right? I like to read books. I like to read astrology. I like to read history. I don't hardly read like plays or theater stuff, but I'll read like astrology and books on history, books on politics. But I'll tell you something, man. Listen to me very carefully. I want to tell you something like if you take, see, right now what's going on in the world, if you look at America, if you look at Israel, and Russia and Ukraine and all that, and that's fine, but like, you want to tell you something. I mean, this is my viewers, and so let's share our own thoughts. I don't have a lot of viewers, but we can share our own. We can take our own look at things, and that's why you don't have to have a million of people. Just about a few people that go like to the top of the mountain and look over, like when Martin can say, "I went to the top of and I looked over." Just we right now we can look over, cause like World War II. I'll show you something. We can go up to the mountain and look over. World War II, like that Holocaust thing, it's biblical. It's one of the greatest scripts. You know how you write a script for Hollywood, like you look at Housewives or Atlanta Housewives or this, or you look at a BET movie or a Lifetime movie, or you'll go to the theater and you'll see like a MGM. You'll see like a you'll see like a great movie like Gladiator 2, or you'll go see Equalizer. Just great movies. But the greatest script to me that's ever written, and because if you go read it or watch it, it's like a Bible. You can look at this script over and over and over again. It's like the Bible, and then you still won't you 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 still have to keep reading it over and over to get the full, like World War II and the Holocaust. And you have to understand so much history to get it. You really like you have to understand what London, like Herschel, the Jewish Herschel, and they put the stamps on the doors in Germany, and he'd send his sons out in the world. And see, if you don't understand that, like about the city of London and Britain and all that, you won't understand what was really going on in terms of how they was going to take over, or what was about to happen in terms of the financial economic powers. That war, it was so, like, if you don't get World War II, then you'll miss even like the movie that the Titanic is all caught up in that, like the Federal Reserve Bank and all that is caught up in. You have to really know that to understand. That's what I'm saying. Like the Bible, you have to really know a lot of astrology and history of different nations and all to really get it, because it's a star map. It's a map of the stars, and then but those World War II, even from World War One to World War II, but World War II for me, and I study it, and then you look at Germany and Hitler, and then you look at Britain, and then you look at America. Cause see, like if you're looking at that war, and if you forget that America had 13 colonies and used to be under King George in Britain, or England. They would say England. They wouldn't call it Britain at the time when the colonies. It was under England. America had 13 colonies. But by the time 1940s and World War II, America was no more the like the adolescent child. It was no longer the adulterated adolescent child of of England. It gained independence from its mother. It became a teenager, and then it grew into an adult, and then by the time it became America became, you know, a full-blooded adult, it was far greater than its mother, Britain. And so, by the time World War II, you're talking like 1940, but then from 1776 when America was born, from when Britain gave birth or England gave birth to America, she was full grown. She was more wickeder and meaner and more hellacious than her mother, Britain. And so she was pregnant during World War II. America was pregnant with Israel. She's about to give birth to her. The whole time, the Holocaust and Germany and then, Germany was trying to attack America's mother, which is Britain. And she had America's mother in a chokehold, and America came to save her mother. And all of them thing, she asked for her inheritance, and she's told Britain, like, I want my child to be born, and her child was Israel. So Britain sold Israel to America, which is her inheritance from Britain, and in World War II. And you have to get into that script because you'll really think like Hitler was half Jewish. I think his mother was Jewish or something. Because what I'm saying is that whole war was like a Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. He probably wrote it. I think he probably wrote it, or Edgar Allan Poe wrote it, one of them. Because that was one of the greatest scripts ever written outside of the Bible. Because all that was scripted. Like, the Holocaust was a play. It was a theater. It was alive. So it was above, so below. It was a play. It was a script. It was drawn up by. You think like that, what is his name? Steven. You think like those Hollywood writers and Hollywood filmmakers now were good, but the people that drew up the script and all was their forefathers. Those great film writers and stuff in Hollywood, they learned how to write scripts and stuff from the Holocaust. The Holocaust was I can't say it was a Hollywood script because Hollywood wasn't, but it was theatrical. They were in the film room writing that stuff up, man, because in Germany, the Jews were in Germany. That's why they won't let you go study the Holocaust. It is such a masterpiece of. It is a masterpiece of alive and living. It was a masterpiece that they did. That's why it's so important to them, because they wrote the whole. They said, well, we gotta. They knew that they wanted Israel. They look. See how you write a script. They know they wanted Israel, so they didn't write this. They had to write the script for it. How are we gonna get it? And they had to write it down. They had to do a planning. Like the planning and all was a major Hollywood production. To me, it was it probably won more. To me, it won more awards, Emmy and Grammy awards, than any other play in history, because when the war was going on, you had American Jews and you had Germany Jews. Now, from Spain, see, you got to go back. You got to know history, because if you go back to Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, if you go all the way back to Spain, before the Moors and the Jews were kicked out of Spain and came to America and started, the 13 colonies. But then you got to say the 13 colonies were under King George. So that whole script. So you got to go back when it really started writing the script for it, because the Jews that, and the Moors that came out of Spain in the Spanish Inquisition, and they were kicking them out, and the Moors had to get out, and they came here into Americas, into the New World. So you got to go all the way back to that before you can even get into how Israel was born, how Israel was bought, and then how they did the Holocaust. Like how they scared all the people out of Venezuela. They scared them. They made them run here. It's like shooting a gun and making a herd run from out of Venezuela to America. That's more or less what Trump them did, and it's the same way with the Holocaust. They had on board Israel, but they had to like, how we gonna shoot the birds off the telegraph? Like birds won't be on the wire, and then the winter come, you shoot a gunshot, and they all fly north. And that's the same thing they did with the Holocaust. When they wrote the script, they said, well, we can use the tactic for how you shoot a gun and all the birds fly north. Because they had to populate Israel after they bought it from England. You get it? Like they saying like, well, the war going on, right? And so the Jews here in America and the Jews in Germany, so they doing a think tank, and they saying like, okay, we got this shit going on. But now remember, England in the city of London is where Herschel, the one that sent all his sons in throughout the four directions of the world and go conquer and set up central banking. They had already had. So they were already in London. See how magical, see how this script is almost biblical, because the Jews had owned England. So how could Hitler, who was half Jew, and then the Jews that were in the Holocaust there, that were in the camps, it's like, what the hell are y'all writing? And so now, because Herschel did a bet against all the other people, and then he won the bet because he knew a war was won or a battle was won. They thought it was lost, and he bet all the money, and he became the richest Jew, and he owned London. They owned London. London was the base camp of the Jews in America and the Jews in Germany. See how this is one of the greatest plays, one of the greatest scripts. The Jews had owned Britain and London, and then they acting like Germany. They started this World War II, and they acting like Germany was bombing Britain. They tearing down, destroying England and Britain. Really, you own your home. That's your mother base. That's how you bombing Mother England is what started America where you are. And then now you're saying that the Germans got their foot on your neck. It's a three-way story. It is the greatest script. You're trying to tell people, they're bombing England. You're in England. You are England. You own it. And then you're saying, but you hide behind the citizenship of Britain, being Britain. Like, we're England, but your Jews hide behind England or British citizenship. And so that's the secret part of it. And that's why you must move carefully with the pen and pencil. But, even like when they went to, Cecil Rhodes and all of them from, the same jewelry makers in Britain that went to South Africa and took control and started Rhodesia and all. It's the same thing. Hiding behind citizenship. And that's what I mean, like, the whole story is you hide behind the citizenship of Britain, but you're there. So it is Britain people there, but you hide behind it. You control it, but then you're going to try to destroy it. You're going to destroy it for the British citizens, and you're going to take that too. That's how a greater script it is. They took so many things in World War II. They took over Britain, the mother country. They took over Germany, the central base of the war. They took over America and Israel at the same. I mean, they killed four birds at one time. It is so much. It is. It's besides the Bible. I mean, if you try to read that shit, you'll be confused because if you don't understand that they were in Britain, hiding behind British citizenship. If you and then they went around the world then as British citizens, and you thought that the Empire of Britain was Englishmen. It wasn't. It was Khazarians and Jews. They were there. That's why the city of London, right now, you Google it and do research on it, they're there. That's their home base. But at the same time, in World War II, you'll think so. Now the game is, they, it's just amazing. It's biblical because like Isaac, Jacob, how the sacrifice and say in the Lord, so you don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to make that sacrifice. Well, the sacrifice of Isaac and Jacob was the same thing as the Jews in Germany. This is biblical. We're going to sacrifice these Jews, scare the shit out of them, and do the Holocaust. They're the ones shot the gun in Germany. Pow! And shot the birds off the line, and the birds flew to Israel. But but it was the American Jews that bought the gunpowder. They really bought the guns, the gunpowder for that gun to shoot and scare the hell out of them there, and to take control of Britain. At the same time, it was masterful. It's beautiful. It's such a story that was written so eloquently, so beautiful that you have to really understand the whole thing of World War II. It was the germination, the beginning, and the ground, the breaking of ground of the American Empire. You get it? That whole thing right there was the building of this beast, this three-headed monster. You think that Britain is insignificant. They'll try to say like, well, Britain was the Empire of Britain, the UK to Britain. That is dissolved. It's not dissolved. Britain is still the mother. The city of London is the mother of it all. The Roman Empire. The Vatican and all. It's still there. And then, from Germany through Germany, through the Germany, the province and colony of Rome, through the Germania and Britannia, all that is still the Roman Empire. And it's so masterfully done to all of it is a Jewish state. That's what it is. It's such a hell of a it's William Shakespeare. It was written up and it was masterfully done. It was. It had to be the devil too. The Zionists. It had to be. Because they play the game with the world. Act like they fighting. When it's in the whole thing, Britain is them fighting Germany. And Germany is them in a boxing match. And then America is them that joined Britain to fight Germany. And then Israel, she was born from that germination. Israel, the daughter of America, the daughter of Britain, the daughter of the old grandfather, Britain and Germany. All of it. Germany was the germination, the battleground, or, the romantic night that gave birth. You go to, it's the romantic city where Israel was born. I just, and then the more I read it and the more I study it, that's why they won't let you go study the Holocaust. You can't go through it because the Holocaust gave birth to this great empire. To Dracarys. When they call that dragon the three-headed. That in the Game of Thrones, that three-headed beast, that's the three-headed beast that they're talking about in the Game of Thrones. Britain, America, Israel, and then Germany sitting right there is like the germination or the birthplace, of But then, Britain is really the grandmother because that's where they landed first when they made when the bets was made and they won off a war and became super rich and controlled the stock market and controlled the banking industry, and it started from there with Herschel. You know, um, it's just masterfully done. It's biblical. The whole script of World War II and what it meant for the Jewish Empire, the American, the Jewish state, or the American Empire, the three-headed beast. That's the same thing in the Bible. That's beast that they talk about, and they accomplished it. They wrote it. She'll let it be written. She'll let it be done. I watch it all the time. I keep an eye on it. I get it. And you have to really, to put it together. You got to know a lot of history to get it. To really get into it and to understand this empire and to understand where it is now, because it really is. It's the beast. It's global. It really is. It is the war from the stars. The star day. You know how they do the star. It really is so above, so below. It's the story being played out. The beast. The beast has taken over globally, and he shall be defeated. He shall be defeated. That beast. So, and I like it. I get it. I get it. Thanks for listening once again.